Thank you for clicking on the video. Welcome back to the channel. This is another review for P-Valley Season 2, Episode 7, Jackson. So, Grandmother Ernestine is up on the stage and, you know, it's giving Dream Girls, you know, back in Loretta Devine's heyday, you know, when she was in Dream Girls on Broadway. Anyway, she's performing and it's obvious that this is some kind of dream sequence or something. Like, y'all, please don't pay attention. Look at this. We have to take a complete sidebar on the dishpan hands that I'm dealing with. So, you shouldn't try to take your own acrylic off. Like, just go to the people and let them do it. But I always do this. If I break one, I have to take the rest of them off. And now I'm stuck looking like this until I go to the nail salon on Friday. A whole week. A whole week of dishpan hands. I'm going to just be like this for the rest of the video, as to not draw attention to the dishpan hands. Anyway, let me get back on track. She's performing, and it's obvious that it's a dream sequence. Because, you know, like all of a sudden, it's like the Soul Train line is going on. Her wigs are changing, all of that. And we see baby Clifford and his mama. And so then we're back in reality, and she's really just standing there, you know, at the Pink in an empty room. And she in there singing all by herself. She's hallucinating her daughter, Clifford's mom. So I'm assuming that she's passed on. We didn't get a backstory on that, you know, or like what happened with her, but she's deceased. And she tells her she has a drink for her, and she's telling her it's time. Come on, mama. Come on, have you a drink with me. And Grandma Ernestine is just like, no, not right now. Not yet. So soon come though. Like this episode still didn't leave me feeling like we were gonna like her character was gonna live on. I still feel like, and I'm jumping ahead, so sorry, but I still feel like Grandmother Ernestine we gonna lose her to the COVID. I really feel that way. They teetering and tottering, you know, on the idea of it all, but I really feel like sooner or later, that's just what it's gonna be. But anyway, moving on. Uncle Clifford is at the Pink waiting on Autumn. They're supposed to be meeting up, and when she gets there, you know, he's just telling her how much the Pink means to him, how much it means to he and his family, more importantly, because it's, you know, kind of, it's a club that's been passed down. And it's not just a strip club to him, you know, there's history there. So-and-so, Uncle so-and-so was shot right there at the craps table. Then cousin so-and-so was over there when this happened or when that happened. Like, it's just, it's a pillar. And it's a staple for, you know, for his house. Well, I should say for his family. And so he ain't really trying to get rid of it like that. Like, the building itself means something to him. And she's just like, well, history is important, but so is the future. And I'm trying to take us into the future. It's really nothing that Uncle Clifford can say, because Autumn has made up her mind. She is selling the Pink. I mean, no less than 10 mil, but she's still selling. She says that Promised Land offered her $5 million. And that's still not enough for her. She says she's going to get Clifford and the family and the ancestors. You know, she got to add them on there for a little razzle-dazzle. Y'all deserve better. Well, she going to get them what they deserve, that 10 mil. This whole thing for her, Uncle Clifford feels like this isn't even about the ancestors, you know, so don't even try to bring them into the mix. This isn't about me. This is about you and what you want. And I mean, she basically just admits to that. Like, yeah, you're right. You're right. I got a goal in mind, and I'm going to see it through. She is going to see her dreams come true. So, okay, girl, whatever. Okay, so I'm just going to wrap up Mercedes and Terica like really quick, because they did a whole lot of back and forth, and I just don't feel like doing all that stopping and, you know, and going back through the notes and all of that. So we're gonna just wrap them up real quick. So Mercedes is on the line with Shell, And, you know, Terica's been at the house for a couple of days. She's been there for 3 days. And she, of course, she just want to know when she coming back and all of that. But Mercedes is like, I'm gonna just take care of little mama for you. Don't even worry about it. I got her. When she goes in to peek on her, Terica in there looking at her pregnant belly and all of that, because she's starting to show. And I'm like, dang. She like, we got to figure out how many months she is, because she's showing already. Your first pregnancy, you don't show at all really until your third trimester is when you really start to like poke out, and it's obvious that you're pregnant. But you go some months without showing, and that's because, you know, you've never been pregnant before, so your body is not stretched out at all. So it takes it a while, but trust and believe that second baby is gonna be like, bam, belly. But anyway, I was kind of on a soapbox, wasn't I? Anyway, Terica had, like I said, she's been there for a few days, and Mercedes asked her, you know, what are you going to do about this baby? Like, what are you gonna do? She keeps saying that she doesn't know, but she says she got some cravings for some ice cream or something like that, and Mercedes just looks at her and was like, okay, let's go to TCBY. So they're gonna go on in the car and go get the ice cream. While they're headed there, however, and they in the car and they listening to WAP. And she got the nerve to be really certified freak, 7 days a week, wet ass. I'm like, not in front of your mama. Where they do that at? I don't know what was going on with that whole scene, but never, ever would I ever recite every lyric word for word to a song like that with my mama just sitting right there. But it is what it is. And she's very flippant at the mouth with Mercedes, you know, as far as, you know, you can't tell me how to mother. You like you didn't even want to be a mother to me. Like, she's just being kind of mean to her. And so they driving. Mercedes ends up and I'm paraphrasing at this point because I really want to just wrap them up. But Mercedes is driving, and she passes TCBY, and she ends up, you know, she keeps driving. And of course, Terica's starting to notice, okay, so where we going? And she says, we're going to Jackson. The only people that go to Jackson are people who trying to go get an abortion. Like, what are we doing? You know, basically she done locked the door, and we going. We going to see what's up, because she don't even know how many months she is. She's just so smitten and in love with this boy that, you know, she ain't thinking straight. They are 14 years old. 14. And he talking about he want to keep the baby and be a family. And it's like, how? With what job? You can't work. You 14. She say they gonna get a part-time job. Okay, part-time job gonna take care of who? Like, it's just, she just has no idea what being a mother is. Like, no idea whatsoever. When she finds out, you know, that all of that is going on, she has her pull over because she got to throw up and all of that. And, you know, basically she feels ambushed. And it's like, I mean, well, you kind of are, and it ain't really cool, you know, for her to just drag you to the abortion clinic without, you know, having a conversation with her. But Mercedes really just wants her to make a choice, and it be her choice, because she didn't have a choice. She was just made to have a baby that she didn't even get to raise. So, yeah. There's a scene where they pull up to this diner, and Terica got to go pee, because she does agree, okay, to go on to Jackson and at least get some information, because Mercedes says, this is just about information. We just going for a consultation. We just going to go talk. And so we're going to see what's what. We're going to see what your options are. And abortion may be an option, you know, but we're going to go see. We don't know, like we don't know how far along you are, and it might be too late. Like, we don't want to run out of time. And so she agrees to go. And they stop at this diner, and Terica gets out to pee, and Mercedes is like looking inside, and she sees this mother and daughter who, I guess, remind her of she and Patrice back in the day when they were homeless, and Patrice had them living from pillar to post at this friend house, that friend house, and she pull out some money to pay for the food, and it's short. And she looking at Mercedes like, well, what you gonna do? We short. how we gonna pay for the food? She look over there at the man at the bar, or behind the counter, and says to her, why don't you go over there and do what you do? Mercedes is like, no, mama, I got it. And she pulls out her wallet, and in her wallet there's a condom. And first she's like, where you get the money, and what you doing for the money? She snatches it up, snatches Mercedes up and everything. Mercedes is trying to explain to her that it's her boyfriend Cortez, and he just likes to take care of her. Nah, ain't none of that. You doing something for this money. And so she slaps her, and I mean beats her down in the store. Like like she really tussles with her own child in this store, in these people's establishment in front of the capacity. I couldn't believe Patrice. Crazy self. Mercedes is, I guess, seeing the parallels, with the different situations that are very similar. She's starting to feel like Patrice a little bit, with dragging this girl down here, not really giving her choice in the matter, but she's still trying to give her a choice. But it's like you pressuring her to make a choice too, like, cause she's like, what you gonna do? Okay, so what you gonna do? She 14. That is not a decision a 14-year-old should have to make. Like, 14-year-olds just shouldn't be having sex. I couldn't believe, like, in hindsight, now that I'm an adult, in hindsight, I cannot believe the amount of people, the amount of girls I knew in middle school, 6th grade, having sex. The people used to meet at the movie theater. It's no longer there, but it was this movie theater in Riverdale. It was our little hangout spot. But some of the girls was going down to the movie theater to have the sex, and I just couldn't believe that at 12 you was having sex. I didn't 12. I didn't know what no penis looked like. I was still playing with Addie. Okay, I still had Addie. I was still playing with Addie. If you know, you know. The girls that know who Addie is. And I was playing with Addie, not having the sex. And Terica out there getting pregnant. 14. What? I really couldn't imagine. I really couldn't imagine. But anyway, she's starting to see Patrice in herself. There's also this scene where they are, because they're driving, and so they stop at a hotel, and while they're there, she's still stalling, and Mercedes is like, what are you gonna do about this baby? And so finally she's just like, she really doesn't know, and she gets flippant with Mercedes once again about her pressuring her to make such a huge decision about motherhood and all of that when she was not a mother to her. Mercedes, of course, explains why, they would not let me. They wouldn't let me. Shell, the judge, Cortez, nobody would let me be a mother to you. Okay, so what's going on now? Like, you got me now. Because she, of course, says that nobody would give her to her because she was just a stripper. Finally, she has the gym, and now she can prove that she's more than just a hole on the pole. And so Terica's question is, okay, well, now what? Why don't I stay with you now? Like, you have your gym now. Okay, now what? And she runs into the bathroom and locks herself in the bathroom, and they're crying, and they have this back and forth, from between the door. And Mercedes is trying to, kind of begging and pleading with her because Terica just wants her to be her mom. She just wants a mama. That's it. She didn't need Mercedes to prove anything to her. She just want a mama, And so finally she opens up the door and lets Mercedes back in, or she comes out or whatever, and they sit down and talk, and Mercedes, holds her and, just cares for the baby like a mother should. So they got that, they've come around full circle, I guess, and Terica will begin to trust her because, trust me, listen, they did go to that abortion clinic, and when they got there, of course, there was all the picketers out there, and I'm sorry if this is all bouncing around because I'm really like trying to memorize it at this point. I'm really just going off of memory as it relates to Terica and Mercedes' scenes. But I hope it's in order, and I hope it's right. But I know I ain't missing no details. I know that much. But anyway, they do go to the abortion clinic, And you know the picketers are all outside. You're going to hell. You're going to hell. They all out there being all ungodly and unholy. God is not pleased with y'all out there harassing them people. I just want you to know. I just want y'all pro-lifers to know. God ain't pleased with the way you acting over there at the abortion clinic. He don't like that. And so stop going out there at using his good name for what you doing. Because that's unholy and it's ungodly. Period. Harassing them folk out there, telling them you sending them to hell. Well, child. Anyway, they do go inside or whatever, and she, you know, has her consultation. She's 14 weeks, so she's right at the cusp. She got to make a decision within 24 hours. And so, of course, Terica still, you know, she don't know. She don't know what she want to do. She asked the lady if she gonna get cancer if she gets abortion. The lady's like, who told you that? Who said that? No, but you can. All X, Y, and Z can happen, but that's also associated with childbirth. So there's a risk, period. But you're gonna need to make a decision by tomorrow, okay? Because you coming up on the deadline as far as abortions go. You might be keeping this baby if you keep thinking too much, if you keep thinking longer than you need to. In the end of their interaction, they they wake up the next day and, all right, Terica, your choice. She gives her the keys to the car and she's like, the car go Jackson. It can go to Jackson or it can go to Chuckalisa. I'm riding shotgun, so it's on you. And she hands her the keys, and they're driving, and Terica heads right on to Jackson. You know, because after Mercedes gave her the cons. They also had a situation where they were out by the pool, and you know Terica's still thinking, and they see this woman who appears to be a single mother, and she got about 3 or 4 kids, and they just running her ragged, it seems. And she's just like, you take a look into the looking glass, go on and take a look at that into your future, if you decide, you know, to keep the baby. But Terica went on and made her choice. And good for you, girl. Good for you. You made your choice. And see, that's all we talking about. That right there. The choice of it all. Not being forced into motherhood when you 14. She made a choice. Good on you, girl. Good on you. Good on you. And it was probably the best choice for her life. Because she's 14. And she deserves to graduate high school without being somebody's mama. She deserves to go to prom. She deserves to do all of that. She deserves to go and have her second or third love. Because listen, this little first love at 14, nothing compared to what you got coming in college, sis. And see, now she got opportunities, you know, and not to say that kids take all of that away, but at 14, yes, they do. Ain't gonna be none of that when you 14 and a mama. I mean, there are some mothers that will, you know, they just be done raised your baby as their own. I mean, I had friends who, I have a friend, her kids call her mom and dad. They don't call them grandma, granddad. It's mom and dad, you know. And not that she wasn't a mother to them or she wasn't there, but her parents are heavily involved. And so they're almost like second parents. So there are situations like that where the grandparents do step in and, you know, help you raise the baby when you are a teenage parent. But no. No. She was like, you really don't make me a grandma. I'm 30. And I'm just like, girl, you 30. Why you like 36 maybe? Like, we not finna play around like Mercedes is really 30. I guess that's what we trying to say, because she was stripping. And I mean, at 37, you shouldn't be stripping no more. But Mercedes don't look 30. Mercedes looks 35, 37, 39. Anyway, that wraps up Mercedes and Terica's their storyline for this episode. So she goes on ahead and gets that abortion. Murder is still at Clifford's house going through. And he's thinking about Teak and, you know, that their last moments together. All of that is running on a loop in his head. But Grandma Ernestine in there about to cough up a lung. So that kind of, you know, takes him out of his trance, and he goes in there and checks on her. He done brought her some smothered pork chops, some yams, some collard greens, some potato salad, a dinner roll. He done brought her some food. Got to get her strength back. And she can smell the food, which is a good sign, because, you know, they were saying that people lost that, you know, that part of their senses after having COVID. She also can smell the death on him. You know, she said, I smelled it on you last night. All that blood. I'm like, how you know that? I don't know how she knew, but she knew. Keyshawn and the kids are grocery shopping, and Autumn, she following her around the store. And she's able, Keyshawn is able to step away and go to the makeup section. And Autumn is up there. You know, she pulls her mask down and sees that she got a black eye. And she's like, so I see you still ain't used that gun that you took from me. Still you seeing, I see you ain't used my gun like you should have. And Autumn is, you know, she tells her that there are other ways to get out. You know, like, girl, if you need me, I got you. And Keyshawn, of course, she hears those babies crying and Derek calling her name, so she has to run off quickly. But Autumn is on alert, and as she should be. Clifford gets home, and everything's under control. Grandma's asleep and everything, and so they go to the kitchen to talk. And Clifford vents about Autumn, you know, and what he got going on with her, and he realizes that Murder is the one that needs the listening ear. And so she, you know, how you doing? She asked him how he's doing, and because she heard him crying in his sleep, and Murder says, you know, I don't know what you're talking about. Child, you know what she talking about. Clifford just go get, you know, leaves the room because she gonna go get him some a change of clothes, because it's obvious he'll be staying another night. Murder's finally checking his phone, and he got so many missed notifications and Wody calls while he's checking, and he got a booking. He got bookings to get to. You know, the tour is back on. Of course, he's like, the tour, you know, like, who gonna be security? And Wody's like, damn, that shit about Teak is awful. That is awful. Like, and it really is. It really is. Wody already knows what's going on. And Wody has the body. So, you know, Wody wants to know, you know, what's going on, because ain't no family come to collect or nothing. So he may have to just go on and bury him. But of course, you know, not until Murder can be there in the place, I'm sure. But it's nice that Wody got the body, and I hope you do him right. I hope you do him right, because Poteet, that we still traumatized. I don't know about y'all, but that was a lot. That was a lot for me. Anyway, Clifford is upstairs, and he's looking for something for Murder to wear. And Murder notices this vintage Gucci bag, and Clifford's like, oh, that's my first pocketbook. I've had it since I was 3. And Murder's like, so you've always been like this? And he's like, nigga, what you mean? Like this, you know? And like, no disrespect, but like, what are you? And Uncle Clifford says, I'm Uncle Clifford. What are you? And he says, I'm who the world won't let me be. Okay. All right. Murder, he also notices that Clifford kept all his postcards. And now, you know, Murder is apologizing for how things ended, how he, you know, just basically ghosted him on murder night and all of that. He didn't really want to step out into the sun. And Clifford is just like, you know, like, I ain't gonna be none of that passing with me. I know you passing with your homeboys and the rest of the trade brigade, but you can't pass with me. So that's just what it is. They hear this slam of a door, you know, and they run downstairs. Grandmother Ernestine. Door wide open, front door wide open. She gone. She just done took off. I was like, did she take the car? Oh my God. She was gone though. I forgot to tell y'all, when Terica and Mercedes was riding their car, I just looked at it in the notes and I felt like, damn, I missed that. Let me go back and reiterate. They was in that car, and when homegirl was getting flip at the mouth, you know, really basically trying to call her mama a hoe and all of that, you know, she was just being mouthy. Mercedes had to give her one of those cross the jaw. And of course, she's still flipping. I have my daughter. I'm never gonna slap her. Mercedes like, I thought so too. Shit. I mean, sometimes you don't wanna. You don't wanna. But when you flipping at listen, I done been popped in my mouth a few times by my mama. Okay. And yeah, it's humiliating and it makes you feel away. But now that I'm a parent, I understand, having that knee-jerk reaction to your child talking to you crazy. Because who are you talking to, girl? Who you talking to? Gentle parenting. It don't work in situations like that. In like it was just like I said. It was a reflex. It was just a reflex. You just don't talk to your mama crazy. Anyway, moving on. Clifford and Murder are running through the woods, and they're following this trail of clothes that they see. And these items of clothing belong to Grandmother Ernestine. So, they're picking them up, and she is at the lake, y'all, and she about to get in. She about to go and get in the water. And Murder and Clifford get to her just in time, to stop her. And she's saying, please, she want to go. She want to go with Beulah. Clifford looking at her like, Beulah, that's my mama. Oh, Lord, Grandma, we got to get you home. And she's like, no, let me in the water. Or at least bring the water to me. Like, she was ready to go. She was ready to just go walk in the water and going on up to the upper room with Beulah. And what's the face? Murder. He takes a cloth and goes and takes it to the water and drenches it, and brings it back to her. It's obvious, like, this fever is getting the best of her. This fever is high. Her fingers are blue. It's all bad. Like, she might not have made it any longer. Another day, I should say, outside of the hospital. So they get her back home and get the paramedics to come and get her and pick her up. I was so stressed out, y'all. It's too much. It's too much between this situation and not knowing whether or not Grandmother Ernestine is going to be with us any longer. Between that and Keyshawn's situation, I'm just spent. I am just emotionally spent with this show. I really am. Keyshawn's situation is really... We'll get to it. Cause anyway. Where am I, child? Because I done talked about Mercedes and Terica in its entirety. So Clifford and Murder, like I said, they get Grandma off to the hospital. She's scared that, she's going to die alone. She don't want to die alone. And the paramedics take her away, just leaving Clifford and Murder just standing there because they can't ride with her. So they just got to wait for a call, I guess. Clifford is in the shower, like, bawling, crying his eyes out. When he gets out the shower, Murder in there got the thong song playing. He got on his boa and and his and some of his clothes, some of his pieces of clothing. He's all dressed up, playing the thong song, giving Cisco. And they have a cute little, fun moment with one another, dancing around. Clifford really, turns it up a little bit, turns it up a notch. He don't really let people see that side of him. But he had a little fun, and they end up, on the bed, of course. It's always, why everybody, why in these situations do the people end up, oh, man, that was fun on the bed. And now you're gazing in each other's eyes. And then, of course, we getting down. And this time, Murder took the peen this time. I don't know if this was his first time or what. Clifford leaned over to grab a condom. And he gonna say to him, don't worry about that, won't need that. Yes, you do. Clifford, you need it. Let me tell you, he ain't tell you, but he was just with teeth. He was just with teeth. Dick deep and bussy, okay? And so I'm gonna need for you to not play around with your health. Listen, AIDS is real. All of them venereal diseases are real. And so, nah, y'all need that condom. Like, what are we promoting here? What are we promoting here, girl? Katori girl. Because condoms every time, okay? Safe sex is the best sex, okay? Safe sex. Telling that man he don't need no condom. If y'all don't get out of here. Anyway, he don't put one on. Talking about some, and plus I wanna feel you inside me. Now murder. And then he was like, legs up in the air position. I said, what? Wow. Wow. Anyway, so murder's a versatile trade. He versatile trade. Versatile top. He'll be a bottom every now and then for the right person. And I guess Clifford is the right one. Whew. So of course, I guess they back on. They back on. But are you gonna tell Clifford that you have teeth? Not just a couple days before that. You gonna tell Clifford about that? Or about the true extent of y'all's relationship? Does Clifford know about teeth? I don't even think he told him what he experienced. I don't know if he's talked about it like that. Like, I don't know. Anyway, they got down, child. They got down. When they, after the afterglow, they laid up. And Murder is still very distraught over witnessing a suicide and everything. He really is not, like I said, he's not talking about it. He can't talk about it. And Clifford just tells him, whenever you're ready, she'll be there to listen. Whenever you're ready, boo. Whenever you're ready. Autumn, she drops in on Keyshawn. Before that, sorry guys, Mercedes and Terica, they back at the house after the abortion. She's recovering at Mercedes' house. Mercedes also, has given her a room, what we gonna paint the room, all of that. And they're watching TV and Patrice is on the Tizoob. And she immediately, feels judged by her. And Mercedes is like, don't you worry about her. Don't you even worry about nothing she got to say. And she's just like, am I gonna go to hell for this? And Mercedes says, I don't know, but if you do, I'll be right there with you. Another motherly moment. And they hug it out. That's what she need. That's what she need. Don't no judgment whatsoever. Unconditional love. That's what a child needs. Anyway, Autumn, she drops in at Keyshawn's house with a gift. Oh, hey, I have a gift. I'm like, that's right, Autumn. You better show up at the house. After seeing that girl's black eye. The baby's fussy or whatever, and Autumn offers, can I? And she takes the baby and she starts telling this story about Haley. And basically Haley got out of her abusive marriage as well, although too late. The tears that she shed, her baby, she said her baby got swept up in her tears because she waited too late. But girl, if you ever need me again, because now Keyshawn picking up on it like, girl, what you talking about? This sound like, what you saying here? In more words than one, girl, either get out or call me when you need me. If you want to reach me. If you ever need me, okay? Call me. She gives her, in the gift bag is a burner phone. And she like, girl, call me when you ready. When you ready. When you ready. You just let me know and you call me on the line, okay, when you're ready to learn how to swim. Keyshawn's situation, yesterday I was watching it. I watched it yesterday and it probably wasn't a good day for me to watch it. I also found out yesterday. See, and I'm going to dedicate this review to my old friend Tashika. We met in college. At my school, and I don't know if I've told you all this before, but within every organization on an HBCU campus, you gonna pledge, you gonna have some type of hazing. I wouldn't say haze. Let me not say that. We don't haze. Scratch that. X that from the record, because we don't haze. But you're gonna have to go through some type of process. And the chorale, which was a choral group, wasn't no different. And she was my freshman sister. We came in together. We graduated together. We had classes together. She was always in my room. She and my roommate were closer than she and I, but Tashika and I were cool, you know. That was, she would, listen, a good time to be had every time she was around. She's a very sweet girl. And I found out yesterday that her sorry ass, loser ass, and I'm so angry with him, and I don't even know him. I don't know him, but I'm very angry with him. He took her life. And this Keyshawn storyline is so reminiscent of her life, and how on the outside things can appear to be peachy, because on social media it looked like everything was okay, and this is not the life she was living. You know, she's a I wouldn't say a new mom, but yeah, her kids are very small. Her kids are, I want to say her son maybe like 4 or 5, and her daughter's like 2 or 3, something like that. They are small children, and they're left without a mother and a father because he decided to take her life. And now he's going to be in prison for the rest of his, hopefully, because they only charged him with second-degree murder, which is so... that alone makes me angry as well. Like, that's capital murder. From what I read, what she went through, that's capital murder. And I'm not gonna go through the details of her demise, but this situation is very reminiscent of that. Keyshawn and Derek, and it's and we've seen this time and time again. The oh my goodness, I'm sorry, y'all. Like, I don't do this. Like, I'm not that press play and go cry and cry for the camera type of person. And so I'm gonna try to get this together, because no ma'am. I didn't know, and I think that's what makes it so hard for me. I didn't know, and she's gone now. I hope Keyshawn, in this storyline, I hope that it doesn't end the way that we've seen it end time and time again with these domestic violence situations. It just goes too far, and the woman, more times than not, ends up dead. This review is dedicated to Tashika Young. And if you're from the Jacksonville area, she was from Jacksonville and she was on the radio as well. I don't remember what the station was because I ain't from Jacksonville, but a lot of people, you know, reading comments and things of that nature for her, a lot of people tuned into her show. She impacted a lot of lives, and a lot of people are left deeply saddened by the loss of her. But yeah, if I find out any more information about her case, I will absolutely do a buzz on the case on it, because I want his ass under the jail. Under the jail. I hope that anybody that knew of any type of previous incidents, because this is not an isolated incident, it's not something that just happened out of nowhere. This is something that was ongoing, and so I'm sure that there are people that know about it. And so I hope that they come forward and testify. Listen, I need them to up these charges, because second-degree murder is just not enough for me. He left the girl. He left her and came back to the home. And I know that we are really going left here. I'm so sorry if y'all don't care about this, or, not that you don't care, but if this is just too much, or if it's triggering, or if it's TMI. But roll with me, okay? Roll with me. He left her and came back like nothing happened. That's a murderer. That's not somebody that accidentally did anything. You left her. You knew what state you left her in, because if you did what you did, it was obvious that it wasn't just a fall, or it was obvious that she wasn't faking, or it was obvious that she was, severely hurt. Severely. I'm leaving. because now I'm getting upset again. When I say I'm angry, I'm angry. And I had to pray this morning because God is really going to have to help me with this, help me with this anger that I have, this hate. I don't be hating folks. Like, hate is a strong word. You don't want to hate people. But I hate his existence. I would have rather street justice over this. I would have rather street justice because I hate him for what he did and for what he's done to her family and friends and their children. Just as much as I hate Derek ass for what he doing to Keyshawn and her kids. So like Autumn said, I hope that she uses that burner phone when she need to, and I hope that Keyshawn, her story is not wrapped up in this way, and as opposed to we just sending Derek on up the river. Be sure to rate, comment, and subscribe to the channel. It's Call Me Busby, and I'll chat with you later. Peace and light.